Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today is the 24th of October. We are checking out today's 7 game slate for DraftKings. As normal, if you guys enjoy the video, leave a like. I definitely do appreciate that. Subscribe. We do Fanduel, DraftKings, and Price Picks lineup advice videos for you guys. So, like I said, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and you guys know when it is. So last night was not the greatest night overall. 327.5, I think it was on DraftKings. So we kind of shared with a lot of people, kind of that cut line there, and then 350.1 here on FanDuel with another injury. That's back-to-back injuries. We had Kevin Porter the day before, and then we got Nimbard here last night. So we still scored a 350.1 with Nimbard. So just keep that in mind of how dumb this lineup was. 18 with somebody getting injured, easy 330, 340 lineup. So we definitely are on the right track, even though with the injuries. I know I lost 21 bucks, but like I said, we played a lot of 50-50s and double ups and head to heads, and that's definitely what helped us out there. So I get it. It was a slight loss, but like I said, we were 37 points on the cash line last night, and slightly almost got back to even. So not the worst night. Definitely tonight will be a lot better for FanDuel and DraftKings. But both of them still were on the money line. Just we hit even for the most part. So $6 for a day pass, or we have $30 monthly pass and 160 for the season pass, and that will be separately for FanDuel and DraftKings. That's per site. So if you guys want to get in on any of that, definitely check us out. And today we were 2 for 2. So for the most part, we're 2 and 1. I don't know, but not doing too bad. So let's get into it. Atlanta and Orlando is our first one. Like I said, we're gonna go through these relatively quickly, just because. Well, I guess there's only 7 games here. FanDuel has a lot more. We have a 235.5 in Orlando by 4.5 in this one, so this should be one of the higher ones off the slate. Should be a good one. Um, we have a little bit, like I said, a little bit more time over here, so we'll go into these games a little bit. And like I said, this could include FanDuel or could be applied for FanDuel as well. Some of the stuff I'm talking about. So I really don't mind Dyson Daniels. Look, I get it. He sucked. He sucked really bad, 13.25, but they got killed by Toronto. I think they're gonna want to rebound here in this one. It was just not a good one for Dyson Daniels. I hope he can rebound. So don't mind going back to the well with him, but I wouldn't go crazy high on him. Franz Wagner's all right at 76. Is Zach if Zachary Akil Alexander Walker's probably going to want to be one of your main guys to be looking at. He had 26% usage, absolutely horrendous, and he still had 20. So yeah, I'll probably put him in there if Zachary is out. Even if he's not out, definitely could slide him in there. Power forward position, Paul is probably right where he should be, but like I said, it's one of the higher ones on the slate. So totals wise, Apollo's in play. Wagner's definitely in play. Uh, Even Goga could come into play here at 3,800. It's really cheap over here on DK, and he had 28 last time out. Keep in mind, he only played 18 minutes with a 10% usage rate, so don't expect that 28. Probably from about 20 to 23, probably at the max. But 38, if there's not a lot of value that turns up, then he could be an all right one. All right, moving on to Boston and New York and Knicks. In this one, we have a 230 and New York by 3.5. So we'll have to see what's going on with Towns, if he's going to play or not. We got Brunson at 84. Um, let's see, Josh Hart as well is questionable. So if both those guys are out, Brunson's going to have to come into play even more. Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby. Peyton Pritchard's all right at 6'6". Derek White's a little expensive at 7'9". Um, I mean, if Towns is out, maybe Josh comes into play a little bit at 31. I know he's not really a power forward or anything, but they may. Sorry, Towns is on the other team. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Really, really, really early in the season. But yeah, so never mind on him. But yeah, if Towns is out, there you go. Go Ariel. That's the guy who I was looking for. But he only had 12.75 with a 7% usage rate. So Brunson, Bridge is probably going to be your main guys. Maybe a little bit of OG. And but for the most part, I don't have a ton of exposure to this game unless Towns is out. But I had to pick anybody from Boston, I guess Peyton Pritchard. Cleveland and Brooklyn. We have a 230 and I said it's over here. Okay, 230 and Cleveland by 11.5. So I kind of said it on FanDuel. I really just don't have a ton of exposure in this game. I mean, if DeAndre Hunter's out, maybe you can go back to Jalen Tyson at 4,000. Maybe Proctor comes into play, 33 over here. He had 16 minutes. Maybe he can get you 15 against against them or something like that if a couple more injuries happen. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, if Hunter's out, I mean Larry Nance comes into play a little bit more at 36. Like I said, prices are a lot cheaper over here on DK. Obviously, it's a different format, but yeah, 17 minutes, 20% usage rate, 19.5. If Hunter's out again, why not put in Larry Nance at 36? He can probably get you 18 to 20. But for the most part, you're looking at those cheap guys. I just don't have anything else. Maybe Sharp and some GPPs, but that's really it. All right, moving on to Detroit and Houston. Probably going to be the one of the better ones on the slate for us. We got Kate Cunningham at 10K. I get it. He didn't have the greatest shooting game for 24, but turned it on a little bit there at the end. Still had a 37% usage rate, which is absolutely massive. So I don't mind targeting him here in this high game. Eamon Thompson's all right at 7.7, price right where he should be. Not really interested in Kevin Durant too much. Jabari's should be. Let me see what else. And then you got Azor Thompson as well. He's 65. So I think for me, I'm looking at Cade Cunningham's probably the main guy. Jalen Durant can be worth a look in GPPs, but he's 7,400. Eamon Thompson's not bad at 7.7, as I mentioned. But that's kind of what we got going on. It's probably Cade a little bit. You could look at maybe Tobias Harris or Jalen Durant in GPPs, but that's mostly so Cade Cunningham. I know it looks 227, but everyone's kind of priced where they should be over there on Houston. But yeah, Eamon Thompson, your main guy. All right, Miami in this one. We have a 231 in Memphis by 2.5. So I kind of said it over there on FanDuel. Interesting that Grizzlies are favored by 2.5. Um, as this recording, John Morant is questionable. So we definitely need to keep an eye on that one. Davion Mitchell's a little more expensive over here. But yeah, for sure, I think if John Morant's out, you got to look at Cedric Coward, 25.25 last time out, and that was with John Morant playing with a 12% usage rate. Not the greatest. He did shoot 5 for 5, so do keep that in mind. But 30 can easily get you 22 to 25 points. So really don't mind looking at him. Small forward. Santa Almeida comes into play a little bit more if John Morant's out. Probably get switched into the starting lineup, and I would not be surprised if Santa Almeida had a half decent game if John Morant is out here. Not really feeling Bam or Jackson too much. Jock Landell at only 42. I think you can, once again look at him. He's going to be, starting over there for Memphis, and at 4,200, why not? So that's kind of what we're looking at there. He had 19. He had 25 minutes, 16% usage rate, 3 for 7. So not bad at 42. Not bad at all. So keep an eye on John Morant here in this one. Moving on to San Antonio and the New Orleans Pelicans, a 233, and looks like San Antonio by 4 here in this one. So, all right, we got Stephon Castle. I really don't mind him at 78. I mean, he had 41.75 last time against Dallas, 8 for 12, beautiful 32% usage rate. Kind of did everything. Went to the free throw line, shot a little bit better there. Had his rebound, so he was pretty aggressive. So Stephon Castle stepping up for sure. And I think he's definitely going to be one of the main guys you're going to want to be looking at. Herb Jones at not too bad either. I'm not a fan of Devin Vassell. Sadiq Bey is another one to look at. Misi is questionable for Pelicans center, if I'm saying his name correctly. But Sadiq Bey, a good spot here at 4,100. I mentioned it on FanDuel. 5 for 12, 17% usage rate, but he had 5 for 12 shooting. I love that. He was aggressive and had 27, as I mentioned. So why not put in Sadiq Bey? Even if Misi plays, I really don't mind looking at Sadiq Bey in some tournaments. And this is only if Misi is out. Derek Queen comes into play only if he's out. I don't mind looking at Derek Queen, but like I said, that's only if he's out. Um, yeah, and then Victor. I mean, obviously the main dude. He should absolutely kill, especially if Misi's out. I mean, there's no one that can really guard him. We'll see if Carlo. I didn't check on Carlo, but if Carlo is back for some reason, it's a game time decision. I didn't check anything, but if he's back, then he comes into play. But if he's out, then obviously Queen comes into play if Misi's out. All right, moving on to our last one. Washington in the Dallas Mavericks at 227 and Dallas by 10 here in this one. So Cooper Flag's probably going to be the main one you're going to want to look at. Yeah, he was absolutely disappointing. I had him. I made a post about him on Facebook. I was like, Cooper Flag's the red flag. I said that on Fanduel. But 22% usage rate. He didn't shoot good. He really didn't. Look, Victor was down there. I was a little hesitant with the, big dog down there, but he shot 4 for 13. Didn't really look great. Aggressive on the rebounding. That was good, but I think he rebounds here. A little bit cheaper on FanDuel, but I'm going to go back to the well with Cooper Flag. I think he has a rebound in this one. Back at home against Dallas, he's going to want to show everyone, hey, this is me. Trey Johnson, 4,900. Not too bad, 29.25 with 24% usage rate, 26 minutes last time out. And if this game, for some reason, becomes a blowout, maybe Trey Johnson gets a little bit more run off the bench, so I don't mind looking at him. PJ Washington price came up to 5K. Definitely skyrocketed up for good reason. 7 for 11 shooting, 20% usage rate, 26.75. I think he's in play here one more time. If he gets bumped up anymore, probably not going to play him as much. And AD's all right if you want to go that way, but I don't really need to go that way in this one. So let's go plug in a couple players for you, do a little skeleton lineup for you. So like I said, I really do like looking at Cade Cunningham in this one. He's one of my options. He is pretty dead. Towns is out. Brunson comes in to play at 84. Thompson, 77. Like I said, Flag, point guard, shooting guard elbow. Probably put him in there. Is that, like I said, if Zach is out, you can definitely look at Nikhil Alexander Walker. Yes, they didn't like that. There he is. Okay, you can put him at shooting guard or a small forward in this one. Another, like I said, I'm plugging in a couple cheap guys for you. Sadiq Bey as well, 41 comes into play. That gives you a 69 to get a little bit of some better players in there. If I had to pick up in the top spot, probably go Zion, Sengun, Paulo Banchero. PJ Washington right there sitting at 5. That helps you out as well. I don't want a ton of exposure to Dallas because it could be a blowout and he's a slight veteran, but like I said, doing that gives you exposure to go get Victor and a couple other guys here. So that's kind of what we're looking at as normal. Would love for you guys to come join us. If you want to check us out just for day pass, don't want to commit to a monthly pass, no worries. $6 for includes 2 lineups. 2 lines for either FanDuel or DraftKings. Message us on our Twitter to get in. That will be in the comments section below. Click that link. Give us a follow, and we'll get you guys all set up. If you do not have Twitter as normal, we have our email down there. Message our email. We'll get you guys all set up as well, and we can send lineups through email or Discord or however you guys would like to get your lineups. We can set that up for you. But yeah, like I said, 2 injuries to start the season, unfortunately, back to back, but we still cashed. And like I said, even on DraftKings last night, 327 last night. And like I said, it did cash, but shared a little bit, but not too bad. So, all right, once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys here in the next one.